Did you know that simply changing your morning drink can reduce the risk of stroke and heart attack in people over 50 by up to 40%? So why can a glass of juice, coffee, or an energy drink turn into an enemy of your blood vessels the moment you wake up? What makes the morning the most dangerous time for your heart, and why can choices that seem healthy quietly trigger inflammation and vessel constriction? In this video, you will find the answers, along with a clear plan to identify 5 morning drinks that are putting millions of people at risk without realizing it. And, more importantly, learn about safe alternatives that can protect your heart after age 50. Before we talk about specific drinks, I want to emphasize something important. Morning is the most vulnerable time of day for your heart and brain. Why is that? After a night of sleep, blood pressure begins to rise again, and the heart starts working harder to circulate blood throughout the body. And if your blood vessels are already weakened, which is common in people over 60, this is exactly when a heart attack or stroke is most likely to happen. What's more concerning is that many people start their morning with drinks that seem harmless, but are actually putting silent pressure on their cardiovascular system every single day. Right now, I'll walk you through 5 common morning drinks that are quietly damaging your heart and brain, and, more importantly, what you should be drinking instead. Let's begin with the first one. Coffee with creamer and sugar. Many people start their morning with a cup of milk coffee, mildly sweet, creamy, familiar, like a part of daily rhythm. It seems harmless, even comforting, like a gentle morning ritual. But few realize that this small habit could silently become the spark that ignites heart attacks or even sudden strokes in what feels like a peaceful morning. Black coffee, if consumed in moderation, isn't harmful. On the contrary, it can benefit both the brain and cardiovascular health when used properly. The problem doesn't lie in the coffee itself, but in what gets added every morning: commercial creamer, refined sugar, artificial sweeteners. These seemingly innocent additions are actually delivering a dose of trans fats and industrial chemicals into your body, substances your heart, especially an aging heart, cannot properly tolerate. Trans fat, the invisible killer, raises bad cholesterol, lowers the good kind, erodes blood vessels, and makes blood flow feel like it's being squeezed through a rusty pipe. When blood cannot reach the heart muscle properly, what happens? A heart attack becomes completely possible. According to a study from the New England Journal of Medicine, increasing just 2% of your daily calorie intake from trans fat can raise your risk of heart disease by up to 23%. Just 1 tablespoon of creamer each morning, seemingly trivial, can contain nearly 1 gram of trans fat. And are you sure you're only using 1? It doesn't stop there. Many creamers also contain TBHQ, a preservative derived from butane, the same gas used in lighters. You heard that right. What is meant to ignite fire is slowly seeping into your bloodstream, liver, and muscle tissue, contributing to chronic inflammation, the quiet foundation of many degenerative diseases, including heart conditions. Caffeine is already a stimulant. When paired with sugar and trans fats, it no longer just wakes you up. It can push your cardiovascular system into crisis. Blood pressure spikes, heart rhythm becomes erratic. This is especially dangerous for older adults or those with pre-existing heart conditions. A double strike at the most vulnerable time of the day. Some believe that reducing sugar is enough, but the truth is, industrial creamer isn't just about sweetness. It's a cocktail of artificial substances that the body isn't built to process like whole foods. Consuming them daily is like dripping used oil into an already corroded pipe. One day, the pressure will exceed the limit and that pipe will burst. I once treated a patient, a 60-year-old woman, who never smoked, never drank, but for over 10 years, she started every morning with a cup of coffee loaded with creamer and sugar. She experienced mild chest discomfort each morning, thinking it was just poor sleep. But after examination, the doctor found narrowing in her coronary arteries. The culprit? Her familiar cup of coffee. The problem isn't the coffee. The problem lies in how we prepare it. Artificial creamer and sugar don't just cause weight gain. They gradually erode the endothelium, the thin protective lining of blood vessels. Once that lining weakens, the risk of high blood pressure, mini heart attacks, and minor strokes is no longer distant. If you still want coffee in the morning, keep it pure. Or try alternatives like unsweetened plant-based milk, a pinch of cinnamon, or raw cocoa powder. These options are gentler on your heart, helping you stay alert without risking your health. Many people think giving up coffee and switching to fruit juice is a smarter choice. But what if I told you that could be even worse, especially if you're drinking it the way 80% of older adults still do every morning? 2. Fruit juice. To many people, fruit juice is a symbol of a healthy lifestyle. A glass of orange juice in the morning sounds refreshing, easy on the stomach, and full of vitamins. But there's something few people notice. Fruit juice, especially bottled or pre-made types, is sometimes no different from soda disguised in a health label. When you juice fruit, the valuable fiber, the very thing that slows down sugar absorption, is completely removed. As a result, instead of a nutritious drink, you're pouring into your body a stream of liquid sugar that absorbs rapidly, causing insulin and blood glucose levels to spike within minutes. The body reacts instantly. Adrenaline rises, blood vessels constrict, blood pressure and heart rate climb together. For those with high blood pressure or plaque buildup in the arteries, this shock can be the final drop that triggers a stroke or lack of oxygen to the heart. A study published in the BMJ Medical Journal shows that people who drink more than 350 milliliters of fruit juice daily have a 42% higher risk of cardiovascular disease. The risk of stroke also increases significantly. And don't be too quick to believe the 100% pure label on the bottle, because sometimes the sugar content is even higher than that of a soda can. Last month, I had a 65-year-old male patient come in for a checkup. He shared that after cutting out coffee due to heart concerns, he switched to drinking grape juice every morning. He believed he was doing something good for his health. But after a few months, he began experiencing a racing heartbeat, fatigue, and once even felt lightheaded right after waking up. Blood tests showed a spike in triglyceride levels, mostly from the sugar in the juice, even though he didn't eat sweets. The issue lies in the habit. Most older adults don't consume juice in moderation. They drink it as a daily ritual, a full glass each morning, believing it's full of vitamins and health. But the truth is, without fiber, juice is simply liquid sugar that silently eats away at your circulatory system. If you still want the benefits of fruit, choose the simplest and most effective way. Eat whole fruits. Prioritize high-fiber options like apples, oranges, and grapefruit. If you must drink juice, dilute it with water, consume a small amount, and especially avoid drinking it on an empty stomach. The problem isn't the fruit, it's in how we use it. A glass of juice may seem healthy, but drinking it the wrong way, at the wrong time, can absolutely contribute to heart attack and stroke, especially for those whose hearts have passed the age of 50. Then what about the drink that makes your heart race, your vessels constrict, and your blood surge faster, yet is still believed to be better than coffee? Of course, it's not good for your heart, but it's still a favorite for many people. And I'm about to tell you exactly what it is. 3. Energy drinks. On the label, energy drinks come with bold promises that replenish energy, restore electrolytes, boost performance. It sounds as if just one sip can fully recharge your body like a machine being switched on. But in reality, it's far from what the ads suggest. Especially for middle-aged and older adults, this isn't a performance booster, but sometimes the final drop that overflows the cup, leading to an unexpected heart attack or stroke. Many people assume energy drinks are just diluted coffee, but they're not. They're a potent mix that can make your heart jump. Inside are caffeine, refined sugar, neurostimulants, and ingredients that can constrict blood vessels and spike heart rate. Young bodies might be able to handle it, but for older individuals, especially those with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or a history of heart disease, every can of energy drink is a risky gamble. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association showed that just one can of energy drink can raise systolic blood pressure by 6 to 10 millimeters within 90 minutes. At the same time, it increases the QT interval on the ECG, an indicator associated with arrhythmia and sudden cardiac death, particularly in the elderly. I've seen many patients who shared the same belief. Switching from coffee to energy drinks in the morning would be healthier. They believed that because it contains electrolytes and is marketed for active people, it must be safe. But they forgot that a 60-year-old heart doesn't respond like a 30-year-old one. One sudden spike in heart rate, one unexpected blood vessel contraction could be the last thing that heart can handle. Even more concerning, many people choose energy drinks when they're tired, hungry, or after a sleepless night. That's when the body is at its weakest and the heart is most sensitive. The combination of high caffeine and sugar causes heart rate and blood pressure to spiral out of control within minutes. If you need alertness in the morning, why not step outside and breathe in the fresh air? A warm glass of water with a few slices of ginger or a light cup of green tea can help you start the day without harming your heart. Energy drinks are not the enemy when used by the right person at the right time. But they are not meant for older adults, not for those living with the risk of heart attack and stroke, and definitely not for those pursuing a long-lasting healthy lifestyle. And if you think energy drinks are the worst offender on the list, just wait. The next drink is sold almost everywhere. It's called a nutritious beverage, but it quietly makes your blood vessels stiffer and more vulnerable every time you drink it.
4. Supersized milkshakes. It's undeniable. The feeling of holding a cold, creamy milkshake on a scorching morning truly soothes the soul. Its gentle sweetness feels like a musical note opening the day. The rich aroma awakens a sleepy sense of taste. It is like a dessert of joy, a small gift we give ourselves. But, like many sweet things in life, behind that comfort lies a high price, sometimes paid with your own blood vessels. Milkshakes, especially the extra creamy kind sold in fast food chains, often contain sugar and saturated fat far beyond the body's needs. Just one large cup can contain between 700 to 1,000 calories, 30 to 50 grams of sugar, and a fat content equal to a full fast food meal. But the issue is not in the calorie count. The real question is how an aging heart and a liver that has worked for decades can handle such a dense stream of sugar and fat each morning. When both sugar and saturated fat enter the bloodstream at the same time, the liver is pushed into overdrive. Blood triglyceride levels spike, making the blood thicker, flow slower, and opening the door for blood clots to form. And as you already know, blood clots are the shortest path to stroke and heart attack. A study from the University of Maryland once proved that just 4 hours after drinking a super creamy milkshake, blood flow significantly slows, and the elasticity of blood vessels drops by nearly 25%. One seemingly harmless indulgence can trigger biological effects that last for half a day. And if that keeps repeating every morning, every week, can you imagine what your body might become? Mr. Jom, 65 years old, is a living example. No alcohol, no cigarettes, and a relatively healthy diet. But he had one small habit every morning. On his way to work, he would stop to buy a large vanilla milkshake. Tasty, filling, and comforting. A few years later, he had to rely on medication to treat lipid disorders and carotid artery atherosclerosis, things he never thought could come from that innocent morning milkshake. Young people may burn off a milkshake during a workout, but for older adults, it's a slow-moving load of sugar and fat that seeps into the bloodstream and gradually weakens the endothelium, the thin armor that protects blood vessels. And once that armor cracks, heart attacks and strokes are only a matter of time. Drinking it occasionally is fine, but doing it regularly, especially on an empty stomach, is the fastest way to silently damage your circulatory system without even knowing it. And the ironic part? The next drink isn't sweet or fatty at all. It's even labeled as blood nourishing, yet silently harms your blood vessels in a completely different way. It's the type of drink many older adults still trust and consume every morning. The truth behind it will make you think twice. 5. Bottled tomato juice. Tomatoes are often seen as the golden friend of the heart, and that's absolutely true, but only when they are fresh. A ripe, sun-kissed tomato is packed with lycopene, vitamin C, and a natural system of protection for your blood vessels. But everything changes when that tomato is juiced, strained, boiled, bottled, and left sitting neatly on supermarket shelves for months. Do you know what manufacturers add to make that juice easier to drink? Not love, not nutrients, but salt. A lot of salt. 4, sometimes even 5 times the natural sodium found in fresh tomatoes. Just one small glass can deliver 600 to 800 milligrams of sodium straight into your bloodstream, and that's in the morning, when your heart and blood vessels are still as fragile as an autumn leaf. For older adults, the recommended sodium intake is only about 1,500 to 1,800 milligrams per day. That means you've already used up half of your salt budget just after waking up. What's worse is that salt doesn't make you feel full or tired right away. It silently retains water, subtly increases pressure inside the arteries, and forces the heart to work harder with every beat. For those with a history of hypertension, atherosclerosis, or a cardiovascular system worn down by time, this is nothing short of a ticking time bomb. According to the American Heart Association, just 1,000 milligrams of excess sodium per day can raise the risk of heart disease by 17% in people over 55. That may not sound like much, but repeated day after day, it becomes a serious threat. I once had a patient named Walter, 68 years old. He was very strict with his diet: low salt, no fried foods, no soda, no alcohol. But he had one small habit every morning. He drank a glass of bottled tomato juice. He believed he was doing something good for his heart. But years later, he was diagnosed with mild hypertension and early damage to the abdominal aorta. The reason was printed right on the familiar bottle's label. The sodium content was enough to undo all his efforts to control blood pressure. You see, not everything labeled heart healthy is actually good for your heart. When food is processed, packaged, and flavored, its nutritional value often washes away while harmful elements quietly accumulate. If you want to protect your heart, let tomatoes stay in their true form, fresh, whole, or lightly cooked with a bit of olive oil. No salt, no preservatives, no tricks for the taste buds. A morning drink that seems harmless can sometimes be the final drop that overflows the glass. We drink with the belief that we're helping our health, but in reality, we may be slowly pushing our hearts toward danger. I know, after going through that list, you might be wondering, so what can I even drink in the morning now? The answer isn't about cutting everything out. It's about understanding what's right so you can choose what's right. We just walked through 5 types of morning drinks that older adults often consume every day, thinking they're healthy. Coffee with creamer and sugar, fruit juice used the wrong way, energy drinks that seem packed with power, sweet, creamy milkshakes, and bottled tomato juice, often believed to be good for the heart. They all have one thing in common. It's not that they're inherently bad. It's how they're processed or when they're consumed that causes silent damage to the heart and blood vessels. Here are morning beverages that are safe and heart-friendly. Starting the day with the right drink not only helps you feel alert and energized, but also plays an important role in protecting the heart, stabilizing blood pressure, and preventing cardiovascular events. For those over 50 or with a history of heart disease, choosing a safe morning drink is a simple step with long-term benefits. The following options are recommended by nutrition and cardiology experts.
Warm, purified water. Drinking a glass of warm water right after waking helps replace the fluids lost over 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Warm water stimulates digestion, promotes blood circulation, and helps the heart work without excess strain. Unlike cold water or sugary drinks, warm water does not trigger sudden vessel constriction, helping blood pressure stay stable and reducing stress on the vessel walls. Unlike caffeine-free herbal teas such as chamomile, passion flower, Artichoke or lemon balm contain natural antioxidants that reduce inflammation, support vessel repair, and improve circulation. Because they are caffeine-free, they do not cause sudden increases in heart rate or blood pressure. Drinking herbal tea in the morning provides a gentle, calming start, ideal for people with a history of hypertension or arrhythmias. Low-sugar vegetable smoothies. A blend of leafy greens like spinach, celery, cucumber with a small portion of low-sugar fruits, green apple, kiwi, strawberries, provides vitamins, minerals, and fiber to help control blood sugar and cholesterol. Greens are rich in potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, while fruit antioxidants help slow atherosclerosis. Avoid adding sugar or honey to keep blood glucose stable. Unsweetened plant-based milk. Almond, walnut, or unsweetened soy milk offers monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6, that benefit heart health. These healthy fats lower LDL, bad cholesterol, and raise HDL, good cholesterol, protecting vessel walls and reducing atherosclerosis risk. Plant-based milks are also easier to digest and less likely to cause bloating compared to whole cow's milk, making them a good choice for older adults. Roasted brown rice water or thin rice porridge. Roasted brown rice is rich in B vitamins, magnesium, and antioxidants that improve heart function and stabilize blood pressure. Drinking roasted brown rice water or having a small serving of thin porridge in the morning provides slow-releasing energy, helping maintain stable blood sugar for hours and preventing fatigue or rapid heartbeat from sudden spikes in glucose. Diluted warm lemon water. A glass of diluted warm lemon water, unsweetened or with only a few drops of pure honey, provides vitamin C to boost immunity and protect blood vessels from damage through its antioxidant effects. Vitamin C also aids collagen production, maintaining vessel elasticity and reducing the risk of plaque rupture.
Tips for choosing safe morning drinks. Avoid refined sugar or sweet syrups to reduce strain on the heart and pancreas. Choose drinks at a warm or moderate temperature to avoid sudden vessel constriction. Pair your morning beverage with a breakfast rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats for lasting energy. Listen to your body. If a drink causes a rapid heartbeat, dizziness, or fatigue, adjust your choice immediately. Choosing the right morning beverage not only sets a positive tone for the day, but also plays a vital role in maintaining heart health, preventing dangerous events, and supporting longevity. A glass of warm water, a cup of herbal tea, or a fresh vegetable smoothie can be a gentle yet sustainable start for a healthy heart. As we get older, our hearts and brains aren't as resilient as they once were. Every drink you choose in the morning can be a step closer to better health or a slow but steady step toward a higher risk of heart attack and stroke. And the most important thing I want you to remember is this. You don't need to change everything. Just start with one small shift. Maybe tomorrow you still drink coffee, but it's black, without sugar. Maybe you still enjoy fruit, but eat it whole instead of juicing it. You can still enjoy your favorite drinks, just with a safer recipe and a heart that feels heard. Healthy aging doesn't come from pills or extreme diets. It comes from simple, mindful choices made one day at a time. The good news is that every habit can be changed, and the journey to a healthier heart can begin with the very first glass you choose tomorrow morning. If you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe to keep receiving the latest insights on heart health, stroke prevention, and healthy living tips for midlife. If you know someone who still starts their day with drinks they believe are good for health, share this video with them, because that small action could be what helps them avoid a silent heart attack. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next content.